When you think of the strongest sorcerer in Jujutsu Kaisen, one name towers over everyone else. Satoru Gojo. Loved by fans, feared by his enemies, and respected as the man who changed the balance of power in the world of curses. But how did Gojo reach this level of unmatched strength? What demons from his past shaped him? And what exactly is his final fate? Today, we'll dive deep into the complete story of Satoru Gojo. To understand Gojo, we have to start at the beginning. Gojo was born on December 7th, 1989, into the prestigious Gojo clan, one of the big three sorcerer families in Jujutsu society. He wasn't just another talented kid. He was the first sorcerer in 400 years to be born with both the six eyes and the limitless curse technique. This made him, essentially, a one-man revolution the moment he was born. In fact, his birth literally shifted the balance of the world, so much so that curses grew stronger just from his existence. From childhood, Gojo was treated less like a kid and more like a weapon of destiny. But even as a young sorcerer, his raw talent was obvious and dangerous. As a teenager at Jujutsu High, Gojo was cocky, arrogant, and untouchably gifted. Alongside his best friend, Suguru Geto, he formed a legendary duo. Think of them as the light and shadow of their generation. In 2006, the higher-ups assigned them a critical mission, escorting Riko Amanai, the star plasma vessel, who was destined to fuse with Tengen. On the surface, it was a simple escort mission, but for Gojo, it became a turning point that would define who he was forever. Gojo and Geto protected Riko from multiple assassination attempts, including the mercenary group Q. But tragedy struck when Toji Fushiguro, the sorcerer killer and father of Megumi, ambushed them. Gojo was seemingly killed, but for the first time, he pushed his cursed energy to the extreme, awakening his true potential. He used reverse curse technique to heal himself, and unlocked the full power of Limitless. In an unbelievable display of newfound strength, he defeated Toji. But despite his victory, Gojo experienced his first true failure. Riko Amanai died, and Geto, broken by this loss and disillusioned with the cruelty of the Jujutsu world, began his descent into darkness. The mission didn't just scar Gojo, it ripped away his closest friend. But Gojo's bond with Geto doesn't vanish after Amanai's death. It festers. Geto begins questioning everything: the system, the higher-ups, even humanity itself. Unlike Gojo, who channels his pain into protecting students, Geto breaks, fighting endlessly to protect people who fear sorcerers. While curses born from those same people keep killing, it destroys him. His ideology twists. He decides only sorcerers deserve to exist. To him, non-sorcerers are just monkeys. The solution? Genocide. This puts him on a direct path against Jujutsu High and against Gojo. In Jujutsu Kaisen 0, Geto leads an army of curses, only to fall to Yuta Okotsu. But when the battle is over, it's not Yuta who delivers the final blow. It's Gojo. In that quiet, devastating moment, it isn't Gojo versus Geto. It's Satoru saying goodbye to his brother. He ends Geto's life because no one else could. This wasn't the death of an enemy. It was the death of his closest friend. And that scar shaped Gojo forever. After those events, Gojo changes. He grows colder, but also wiser. He realizes the only way to truly fix the world is not by obeying the corrupt higher-ups, but by protecting the new generation of sorcerers. By the time Yuji Itadori, Megumi Fushiguro, and Nobara Kugisaki enter the picture, Gojo isn't just the strongest. He's also a mentor, someone who believes in nurturing talent instead of crushing it. Gojo constantly opposes the conservative elders of Jujutsu society, shielding students from being executed and carving his own path. This is the psychology behind Gojo's teaching. He doesn't want another Suguru Geto tragedy. He wants his students to grow without the chains that held his generation back. But even the strongest can be outmaneuvered. During the Shibuya incident, the cursed spirits and Kenjaku, using Geto's body, trapped Gojo inside the prison realm, a living barrier seal. This was the only way his enemies could neutralize him. Because let's face it, nobody could beat Gojo head-to-head. With Gojo gone, chaos erupts across the Jujutsu world, proving just how much the balance depended on his existence. Spoiler alert. The next part covers manga events beyond the anime. If you haven't caught up, this is your warning. Finally, Gojo escapes, and what follows is the battle fans had been waiting for. The strongest sorcerer of history versus the strongest sorcerer of today. Gojo versus Ryomen Sukuna, the king of curses. Their duel isn't just a fight. It's a clash of ideologies, technique, and legacy. Gojo pushes Sukuna to his absolute limits, proving why he's called the Honored One. But tragically, Sukuna kills Gojo. For fans, this moment shattered everything. The strongest sorcerer, the man who always smiled in the face of danger, met his end. Yet even in death, Gojo found peace, because he knew he had given everything. And that's the complete story of Satoru Gojo. From a prodigy born once in centuries, to a mentor who inspired the future, to the man who stood toe-to-toe with Sukuna himself. If you enjoyed Gojo's journey, show some love with a like. Join us by subscribing, because there's more Jujutsu Kaisen content coming. And drop a comment below to let me know your favorite Gojo moment or what you want to see next.